Hello, Froggy here, and today we're taking a look at the Watchtower mission. Someone invited me to take a look, and since it's going away soon, I figured I'd see what I can find in here. We didn't have stasis before, and now that we do, getting out of map is a whole lot easier. I believe this was from the checkpoint just before the end. Turns out that there's a big old hole in the ceiling, so that's where we'll be getting out. This video is a bit less focused than my regular ones. I'll be showing you a bit of the exploration process. So my goal here is to just try to glitch into the boss room. So as of this footage, I hadn't actually done this mission in a long time. But I think that's about where you would come in. And let's go take a look around. This area does look pretty cool out of the map because you have all the kind of disconnected corridors and paths that circle on each other. Since for a lot of this mission you end up teleporting in between the ascendant and non-ascendant areas. Gonna make my way up this corridor here. That area in the middle is pretty early on for the inside part. I'll take a little look at that later. But first, let's check out the outside of this boss room and see if there are any obvious holes we can take advantage of. Naturally, we're doing a lot of stasis climbing, so if you are lucky enough to still have access to this mission in the couple of days left before it goes away, perhaps forever, yeah, definitely bring stasis climbing along. This side's looking pretty solid. So this is a giant box, which is never a good sign. Less opportunities to have holes when there's just a solid structure. Just checking for the possibility of little intangible sections. This little side piece looked a little suspicious, but nothing going on, so let's go ahead and take a look up. Just using the super to put down some fast crystals. Let's go ahead and skip through that. So, up at the top we have what looks like it could potentially be a good sparrow breach spot, but of course we don't have sparrows, so that won't help us at all. And a res breach would, at the very best, put us inside of that block, and that wouldn't do us any good at all. So yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna have much luck here. I have to go and see if perhaps there's a open door. I'm just gonna, oh, over there, that's the bubble for the ascendant area, where we would be teleported in. You can also see the flashing effects. Kind of neat being able to see these side areas you can just see out the window normally. You can get down into part of them. Let's go ahead and take a look at the underside. What we're looking for here is little pinch points that we could potentially res breach into, since the res breach generally moves you upwards. But unfortunately, this is just looking like a solid flat sheet, so we got nothing going on there. Let's walk back this hallway a little bit. And this looks mildly promising, but it's going to be a big pain to get in there, so maybe we'll come back to it later. So this looks like a potential opening. Go back and see if that actually is open to the top. And yeah, you get right on in there. I was not aware at the time that I did this exploration, but this is actually at the very beginning of the indoors part. And that door is an entity. So you only get one crystal. Go ahead and, oh, and I guess you can't, like, get the crystals on there with a super slam. The top is, I lost the crystals there. The top is open. So we should be able to just sneak on through. This is where the fanatic battle takes place. Let's just go back the way we came. So if we were on the correct part of the mission, this would be the getting towards the first area where you transition to the ascendant plane. Probably right around there. And of course, because you're not ever meant to come this way, the hallway just kind of stops hallwaying. Get a nice little view of the glass there. Now let's see if we can get into the next area. It looks fairly clear, but is actually a bit too solid. So we're going to have to come at it from another angle. Thing doing over here. Nope, just solid rectangular prisms. Maybe we'll have better luck at the... Oh, yeah, that looks promising. Should be able to just... Yep, super, or like melee right in. And now we're on the other side of that door. And I think this is the door we want to get behind. But I'm not super sure. That looks solid. Well, turns out I was wrong. That is actually a doorway to nowhere. The one that continues into the mission is the one to the right. Just climbing up here to show the other thing I was partially wrong about. So it turns out that there is a hole in that dome I was looking at, but only bullets can go through. It is impassable to the player. It's kind of funky in another, no, that's where the actual boss arena is. Yeah, just another one of those things where It turns out when looking for intangible structures, you can't really just shoot to check because every combination is possible. There are walls you can go through that bullets can't, walls that bullets can go through and you can't, and you know, both for the other two types as well. View into that previous room, and if we look in here, we can see that even if we got into this section, we just have a dead end. And that puts us about back where we started, so let's take one quick look into here since this hallway leads to the doorway itself. Now if I were on this checkpoint, it would trigger as soon as I approached, but this is from a different one. So as you can see, nothing, and everything here looks pretty solid, so I guess that means we're just out of luck. But wait! We forgot about good old fallback points. Let's go see where it is for this mission. Yep, turns out this was the fallback point the whole time. Now I just feel silly. But we got here, so I guess mission accomplished. If you happen to be watching this before the Witch Queen launch and can track down someone with the mission, I'd recommend taking a look at it, because it is kind of fun to look around out of map. Especially in the Ascendant plane, but I'll cover that in the next one.